You're welcome back to this channel. Welcome back. Yes, guys, if this is your first time of visiting this channel, you are highly welcome. This is just the best place you could ever be. To all my returning subscribers, God bless you. Thank you for being there for me. Guys, you can see this handsome brother. Hey, today is blessing God for freedom. Is worshiping God, is blessing the name of the Lord for its faithfulness. 6 years of freedom from Kirikiri. He was arrested at the age of 22 years. Yes, he was kept in the prison at the age of 22 years. And now he's celebrating 6 years of freedom. You know, he was discharged unaccused. He was free. Instead of death sentence, God set him free. So he's using this opportunity to bless God and to encourage, even when that situation seems to take your life. Don't surrender to him, to the devil. Don't surrender to the tricks of the devil. Yes, hope in God. Hope in God. You can see him weeping like a baby. Yes, he knows what he's talking about. Did you? I don't know. Did you ever think about freedom and captive? When you're free and you are in a cage, in a cell, in a room, somewhere that you cannot do things on your own. You can't come on social media. You can't play with your phones. You can't catch fun with friends. You can't even concentrate on the things of God. You can't be free. But today is celebrating 6 years of freedom. Is instead of death sentence, instead of him to be sentenced to death, guys, is blessing God for what the Lord has done, for setting him free from the trap of the enemy. Right now, I'm going to read out the story to you, and I think we should read it together. Yes, it's better we read the story together. So, guys, whatever you are passing through, no matter how difficult, no matter how bad, even when your own situation carry you to the prison, that is not, don't lose hope. This brother has lost hope. He has, concluded in his heart that there is no more hope, but God arose. So I want us to read the story together right now, guys. So let's move down to the story. Celebrating 6 years of freedom. Prison experience. Harrison Gwamnishu life history and story. Growing up in Ubulu Ugu, a village in Onyocha, South Local Government Delta State, was fun, even though I struggled as a child to get a better life. I lost my brother, so I become the only child of my parents. My dream was to get admission into the university and study law. But going to school those days without funding is a mission impossible, as we could hardly eat, not to talk of sponsoring a law degree in the university. I couldn't sit back and not do anything, so I decided to do some domestic jobs to raise funds. I picked up a driving job from an honorable member, driving a lady. I will confess, it's somehow the most difficult job to do, especially when the lady is naturally harsh. I could drive for hours without having anything to eat. All my focus was achieving that university goal, to achieve the goal of the university education. Some days, in order to get a meal free, I will return to Ubulu to visit my mother, who would always serve me with the best ogbono soup. Each time she watches me eat, I could feel the pain in her eye. She knows her son is passing through a lot to survive with the way I rushed the meals. Life was Life was difficult, but courage and determination got me going. I never envisioned a dark day, but like they say, no one knows tomorrow. My audio still wakes me up every day. As each night that passes, I see and feel the torture I was subjected to in my dreams. It has refused to leave me, a torture that ignited a fire inside of me that will never quench. A torture that killed me, but grace kept me alive. Some night, it could look like it's happening real. I would struggle to wake up to free myself. The mental torture that the experience has embedded in my system, I could see those hot iron rods flash through my imagination. This has always ignited a desire to free the oppressed who might be going through such pains. As an obedient driver, all I did was follow instruction, drive with the convoy, she said. That day marked the beginning of my dark days. As I drove in the convoy, everything was going well until the car in front of me stopped with a sudden brake. The only thing that came to my mind then was to follow suit too. So I pressed the brake pedal with my feet, and the unexpected happened. Boom! The back windscreen shattered and it was already covered with blood from the deep cut in his head. And I mashed brake not to bump on the car in front of me. An Okada man could not stop like I did, so he bumped into our car and penetrated the back windscreen. Blood filled the car as we struggled to save him. Quickly, he was rushed to the hospital and luckily he survived. I thank God for saving the Okada man, because if anything happened, even though it's not my fault, but I know how I would have gone in for it with the kind of madam I have. So my joy was boundless as the man survived that deadly encounter. But little did I know that that was the beginning of dark days. My madam refused to pay me for 2 months because of that accident. She claimed she has used my salary to fix the damaged car, and she blamed me for the accident. I imagined how a woman could be this wicked and heartless. I contemplated quitting the job, but I don't have any alternative at the moment, so I endured the hardship for some months and later left. I got another driving job with another honorable, but this time with a more relaxed and kind person. I never gave up on my dream of a university education, so I dedicated myself to the job, as that is the only mean I could raise funds to go to school. One day in 2011, I got a call from my former boss brother asking if I can deliver a car in Abuja for them. I told him already have another job, but I can refer them to someone who could do the job. They told me to meet in a hotel in Asaba, and one afternoon I walked into setup that altered my life. That afternoon, darkness enveloped sunshine. I innocently went to meet with them in the hotel address they gave me, only for me to find myself in handcuffs by the police. I was arrested for robbery, murder, and possession of arm. Imagine. The shock I felt that day still ring in my imagination. At first, everything was like a joke until I was shamed, beaten and thrown into the police van, and my day my dark days begun. From the hotel, I was bundled to area command Asaba, where I was severely tortured to confess to a crime I know nothing about. The police said that I was mentioned in an interrogation in Lagos, that I was involved in a crime in Delta State. I didn't know who the accuser was. They kept beating me to admit to the crime. They transported me to Lagos, and that journey was the most traumatic and painful experience ever. I was chained with my hand to the back and my legs clustered together with just my boxer on. I have dreamt of going to Lagos to search for greener pastures someday, but I never knew I would be going to Lagos in chains. When we got to Orenundo State, the police brought me out of the van and started beating me in the public, asking me to admit to the crime. One was recording while others were descending on me with sticks and all sorts. Tears diminished from my eyes. I awaited death like a new bride who is greatly anticipating her husband's return from sojourn. My lips dried up. I no longer feel fleshy pains, but sorrowful pains. Water dried up in my eyes, as I have already cried everything out that day. I questioned God. I wondered if God ever existed. My heart bled as I wondered, why will God allow me to go through this ordeal for a crime I'm not even aware of? The people selling at Ore watched In amazement, how the police tortured me publicly and pleaded with them to take it easy on me, but their pleas was dropping on deaf ears as they enjoyed humiliating me. I remembered how one old woman cried furiously. She couldn't bear the sight of such a cruel treatment. She was shouting and begging them to leave me. But her cry and plea was like a fuel that inspired the police to beat me more. At a point, I wondered who I would blame for such misfortune. Should I blame my parents for bringing me to this world to suffer, or I should question God for creating me? My heart shattered each time I think of my mother and the pain she would be going through. The thought of her became my weakness. When we got to Lagos, I thought I would be treated with less inhuman treatment, as it is a city. But my assumptions were wrong. I was subjected to the most cruel treatment I have ever experienced in my life. At the state CID Manti, I was tied and hung like a goat for barbecue. The process almost paralyzed me as blood pressure ceased. I was beaten with hot iron rods, cables, sticks, and chains, all in a bid to make me confess to a crime I did not commit. You see, the Nigeria police system method of investigation is so cruel that most people who agreed to crime sometimes never committed the offense. Two, in a bid to save themselves, the torture and the humanizing treatment they will receive, they rather plead guilty, and such acts has led so many to early grave. All this why I never knew who my accuser is until they brought a guy I never know from Adam to identify me, and he said he has never seen me before. My heart leaped with joy. Suddenly tears flowed down my cheek. My pains disappeared just like the dry harmattan. Harmattan does vanishes when the rain comes. I thought my freedom is here. Little did I know that it was the beginning of a new phase. So guys, we are celebrating Harrison today. Congratulations, Harrison. We bless God for your life. And today you're celebrating 6 years of freedom, And so shall the heaven set every one of us free from every bondages in the name of Jesus. See you next time in my next video. Drop your comment. Bye.